Hello everyone, this is Caillou, and today we're going to be spectating the round 1 match for the Primordial Discord Tournament number 6. So Primordial is a format which aims to emulate the gameplay of Limited, but the deck building of Constructed. Take a single set, take 2 rares, 6 uncommons, any number of commons, put them all together in a 40 card deck, and you've got Primordial. So this is our first tournament since Zendikar Rising has released, so we've already seen some interesting decks based on that. But Chartate, Emily, is going to be taking it back to M14 Slivers. So, curved a turn 1 striking sliver into turn 2 another one. I believe her deck is Naya. On the other side of the table we have Phaenyxx. Has not played a spell yet, but I know has a fondness for Aether Revolt and Kaladesh. Oh, but this is actually different. It looks like it's going to play out a Curious Homunculus. Okay, still going to swing in for 2 because, of course, first strike is a good keyword. It looks like Emily did not have a turn 3 play, which is a little bit worrisome. Might also be mana screwed, maybe? Or, like, color screwed. Well, Phaenyxx is definitely mana screwed, so it's going to pay 2 for Take Inventory. So yeah, this is... The first cast is unimpressive, but past that, it becomes really good. Looks like did hit a land there, but nothing else. I'm trying to think of what else is an Eldritch Moon. So far has only played blue lands. I would expect this to be like a blue-red spells thing, maybe with like... Can't remember if Thermo-Alchemist was this set or the previous one. And oh no, yeah, that's the one you want. Uh-huh. Yep, you do want the bear that is also just an anthem for your deck. So is going to be swinging in for 4 here, 6 the next. It has an Imprisoned in the Moon. So that's going to be able to take care of the Predatory Sliver for now. The fact that this is one of the cards that Phaenyxx chose as a rare makes me think that this is like some sort of controlling deck. But even then, I feel like in Control, you want your rares to be bomb-ass finishers. So, I don't know, this feels like a weird choice of rare. It is an unconditional removal, but I'm just, it's a little confusing to me. I really want to see what the rest of Phaenyx's deck is doing. Okay, so Hive Stirrings from Emily. Just going to get 2 more 1/1s. That would have been really great with the Lord, but unfortunately looks like he's just going to have to keep swinging in with these 1/1s, which are putting a pretty decent dent in Phaenyxx, but it's not fast enough to prevent him from potentially stabilizing. And there's the red mana I was expecting earlier, and it's going to play a Savage Alliance. Which modes, though? Let's see. Oh, never mind. I didn't read that last mode. Duh. That's just a wipe. And that's painful. That is basically just a 3-for-1. And Phaenyxx went from being on the back foot to being comfortably in the lead, especially with 4 cards in hand. Oh, wow. And Emily's just going to concede there. That... I don't know what was in their hand, but I feel like they should have kept trying to fight. Especially since the only card on Phaenyx's board was... that Curious Homunculus. Might have just drawn a bunch of lands, though, and wanted to go to game 2. Okay, going into game 2, it looks like Emily doesn't have those striking slivers. Both players facing off mountain to mountain. Okay, this time with the turn 2 Lord. Let's see what Emily can curve it into. Well, right as I say that, on end, Phaenyxx is just going to Galvanic Bombardment it. So yeah, this UR control deck, being able to just get max value out of just your spells by reusing them, like a creature only shock is actually not a bad thing for your. Oh yeah, there's the Thermo-Alchemist that I was expecting game 1, but yeah, being able to get like a creature only shock is pretty not bad for a control deck, and then the fact that it just grows on subsequent copies, it's definitely much better than a Take Inventory. Emily gonna Pacifism the Thermo-Alchemist, which does nothing because I guess, or it prevents it from blocking actually, which is something. But yeah, Thermo-Alchemist is still gonna get to do the tappity shenanigans, and then is gonna just take inventory, untap it. Emily does have perfect fixing though, especially with that Shimmering Grotto. So let's see what she can bring to the table. A Blur Sliver. Yeah, that haste is gonna be powerful. Finally gets to chip in on Phaenyxx for some damage of her own. Okay, so floats the mana and then pokes Emily for another 1. I think I see a Take Inventory number 2 in the future. Yeah, there it is. And this time it's actually going to be drawing 2 cards, so suddenly it's just 2 mana divination. He's just going to pass, but could still have Galvanic Bombardment up. Oh, Emily tapping out. And, ooh, Battle Sliver. That's another powerful lord. So yeah, this swings for 9 and is a 2-turn clock. Does Phaenyxx have the removal spell here? Does not. So yeah, might untap and have an Imprison in the Moon, but yeah, not having a Galvanic Bombardment there really hurt. And the Savage Alliance returns. This time probably going to be escalated and then kill the Battle Sliver. Okay. Does 2 damage to... I guess it didn't really matter, but... It chose the last mode. I thought my Phaenyxx might have something to kill the Blur Sliver. But no, yeah, it's just going to kill the Battle Sliver. Okay. Emily has a second Blur Sliver, swings in for 4. But is out of cards here. And so, like, is going to have to rely on a top deck to kill next turn. Oh, and Phaenyxx has the Galvanic Bombardment. So one of them is going to die. So, yeah. Emily's clock was blistering, but then the removal spells have cut it down to something more manageable for Phaenyxx. Okay, Curious Homunculus. Seems pretty good here since it'll transform next turn. And if Emily only has pacifism as removal, oh, it doesn't even have cards in hand, I forgot, so that is a problem. Oh, and has a removal spell, Imprisoned in the Moon. I think that this is just curtains for Emily. Has no creatures on board, this Curious Homunculus is going to flip and be a devastating threat starting next turn. Oh no, and Emily top decks a land. Got so flooded this game. And yeah, Emily's just going to concede right there. Unfortunate series of games, but really I think Phaenyx's deck is super cool. It is the type of control deck that I would actually expect a different player in this format, Alicanto, to play. Because Alicanto brewed up a lot of cool control decks from War, and this has a very similar vibe. But yeah, I think the problem, the Slivers deck is powerful but so synergy based that if you start picking off the pieces, you have enough time to just stabilize. And I think, in particular, those Galvanic Bombardments really tech out the deck for aggro matchups. But yeah, I think both of these players' decks seem powerful. It's going to just depend on the matchups they hit to see how they do further on in the tournament. But until then, this is Caillou signing off.